just as things were starting to smooth out for JLO and Ben, it just took a turn for the worst. And please hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate it. It's been nonstop drama with JLO and Ben, and sometimes I think they're doing it just for our entertainment because we enjoy seeing what they're up to all the time. And as things started quieting down with JLO and Ben amid their divorce, because it got really contentious, things were getting really crazy, and then all of a sudden everything quieted down. And they were selling their house, and the house, well, it was in escrow to sell. They're going to split the assets that was left from their marriage, and they're going to move on. But of course, with JLO and Ben, it does not work that way at all. The buyer backed out. And what's interesting is that, there's a couple really interesting things about that. And what the buyer was saying is that they had a death in the family, which you wonder if that is true or if that was their excuse to get out of it. Now, also too, supposedly they absolutely fell in love with the property, and then they backed out of it. Well, they put the down payment and went to escrow. They backed out of it, and then the deal was back on. Like they said, okay, no, we got over everything, and it's back on. And then for some reason the deal fell apart, and then there's no details on why. Now, here's the thing: it's reportedly cost JLO and Ben about almost $300,000 a month to maintain that thing. So you're talking about with the mortgage they have on it. Now, also note, when they bought the house, they paid cash for it. And then they took out a $20 million loan to do renovations. So on top of, think of what it costs to maintain, or think about the things it takes to maintain that house. I mean, it seems like a full-time job just in itself. And actually it is, because most of those houses have house managers. So someone that just manages everything. For example, just think of what the electric bill and the landscaping and all the staff and the cooking staff, and it goes on and on and on. Not even mentioning the property taxes. If they have home association fees, imagine what that is. It's absolutely insane. But anyways, so the buyer backed out. Well, we'll go into the type of buyer too. That's mind blowing. But the buyer supposedly had a death in the family when they backed out of the deal. Now, if that's legitimate, that's pretty grim. And you wonder, like, what the heck happened that it had to have been someone close to him. So that's a little bit creepy. And then does that house have bad energy? And that's what you got to kind of ask yourself too. And depending, like, I'm a big believer in energy. Like, I think that energy, positive, negative, whatever it is, to me, it's real. And in that house may have negative energy, like bad energy, because JLO and Ben move in. They're gonna have a great future. They're gonna retire off to the sunset. Live their second half of their life, or last third of their life together, raise their kids together, and sail off to the sunset. And then their relationship just falls apart, blows up, whatever you want to call it. And then they sell the house. And then the next buyer, who's obviously making a lot of money, then they have a death in the family that's obviously close enough to them that it makes a real estate deal fall apart. And that's kind of scary. And then it's kind of scary thinking about who the next buyer going into that is. And I sure wouldn't want to. I mean, yes, it would be nice to have that kind of money to be able to do it, but I don't know if I'd want to get that house. And it's a beautiful house and all, but I don't know if I'd want that. But think about how small of the market for that house is. Now, we tend to think it's easy on a day-to-day just to go like, oh, there's so many rich people, and oh, there's all these people making all this money. And in reality, there is a lot of people making a lot of money. But to be making, number one, to be making that kind of money, to be able to just for your housing expenses, $300,000 a month, that means you got to be making, I would think, I mean, I don't know, but I would think you've got to be making at least $1 million a month. So you got to be well into $10, $12, $15 million a year and up to buy that house. That just blows your mind. So think about what a small market that is. So you think, well, there's a lot of people who are making that kind of money. Well, I guess there's a lot of people, but a lot of those people already have houses. So how many people are actually shopping for a house in that range? And that number's got to be ridiculously small. So I don't know. I guess it's back to the drawing board for them and for them to find that buyer. But it's probably not going to be easy. But this is the thing. Knowing JLo, she always comes out on top. They'll sell the house and they'll probably make a profit on it, because right now it's looking like they're losing a ton of money month to month on it. And overall, even if they sell it for what they're trying to get, they're on pace to lose millions of dollars on this deal.